I have the honour of welcoming you here today. I'm Marion Gibson and I'm Chair of the Northern Ireland Musical Therapy Trust Board. Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are all very welcome to this event, at which we have some exciting news to report in relation to the role of music therapy in the treatment of children and young people with mental health issues. We are delighted, not just for ourselves, but for all the allied health professionals, that the Health Minister, Mr. Jim Wells, MLA, has been able to join us. Thank you, Minister. Your presence here today is very encouraging as we try to convince health professionals of the very encouraging research and the value of what we do. We are, as you know, allied to the health professionals, and I know that later this evening you will be going to the Northwest for the Allied Professional Award Gala. So to have you here this morning and that this evening is very much a double endorsement for what we are trying to do. I welcome your ministerial colleagues, Minister Jennifer McCann and Minister Jonathan Bell, whose department, the Office of the First Minister and the Deputy First Minister, is committed to delivering the children's strategy. As we know, that strategy states that children and young people should thrive and be able to look with confidence to the future. Our belief is that we have something to contribute to that strategy. If we're to realise this strategy in the field of health, children and young people should have access to as wide a range of therapies as possible. But we'll hear more about that as the day progresses. My job is to do introductions, not to draw conclusions. I would also like to welcome Miss Joanne McDowell, Director of the Big Lottery Fund in Northern Ireland. You'll be hearing from Joanne later, but I want to put on record that without the support of Big Lottery, this conference wouldn't be happening. We wouldn't be kick-starting a debate on the value of music therapy in such a public forum. And the groundbreaking research at Queen's University that has shown promising results wouldn't have been undertaken in the first place. I would like to thank the research team, particularly Professor Sam Porter and Dr. Tracy McConnell, for sharing their expertise with us today. And the Belfast Health and Social Care Trust. The Trust was vital in providing the referrals of the children and young people and in allowing the team to use its premises to conduct our trial. While I'm on the subject, I especially want to thank Mr. Barney McNerney, of the co-director of the Trust's Mental Health and Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services. If there's anybody has a longer title than that, I will give a prize at the end of today. Mr. McNerney has been a great support in making sure that we were able to recruit enough children and adolescents to the study, so that it met the required scientific standards, which are vital if we are to base our future on this research. But you'll be hearing from him directly this afternoon, so he can speak for himself. I'd also like to welcome our expert guests who've travelled some distances to be with us today. Professor Dr. Christian Gold from Bergen University in Norway. Dr. Joanne Holmes of the Croft Child and Family Unit, Dr. Nita Spiro of the Nerdorf Robbins Department of Music Therapy Training, and Dr. Philippa Derrington of Queen Margaret's University in Edinburgh. While I'm mentioning those people, I feel I would be remiss if I didn't mention Dr. Micah Swallow, who 24 years ago had the vision to set up Northern Ireland Music Therapy Trust. And we have, for these last 24 years, 25th birthday next year, seen it grow from an idea and a vision to what it is today. The Music in Mind research depended heavily on the work of our own music therapists and clinical service director Karen Diamond. But I'd like to pay tribute to them, their vision, their very positive working relationships, Professor Sam Porter and the Queen's University team in research. They had a shared belief in the value of music therapy as a valuable health resource and contributed hugely in how the therapists supported and hoped for the success of this study. Northern Ireland Music Therapy Trust employs 14 therapists, all registered with the Health and Social Care Professions Council and all committed to the highest standard of clinical practice. On the board, we support their work. We try to make it possible for them to deliver the clinical services, and we are proud of them and how they deliver it in the name of our trust. Finally, I would like to mention the most important people of all in this day, the young people and the children and their parents who allowed us to come into their lives and conduct this study in the hope that music therapy might be able to help others if it were made more widely available. All I can say is thank you, but the users of our service are always at the centre of everything we do. Thank you for what you allowed us to do, and we hope you will take some pride in the results that you will hear today. It is a debate that is starting, and we will do all in the future to ensure that it's made available in the future to all children and young people who would find themselves in a difficult place and a time in their lives when they need all our support. Thank you to you all who have taken time to come and join us today, and I will hope that you will find an informative and rewarding day. I always think of research like an onion. When you cut it, you get the first layer, and then the second layer, and then the third layer. Sometimes you weep when you're cutting an onion. But this research is like the onion. We're taking the first skin off today. There's other exciting layers to follow in future research. But I think our tears today will not be as a result of the odour of the onion, but of joy that we have got to this stage. Let me hand over to Ciara Riley, Chief Executive of Northern Ireland Musical Therapy Trust, who will introduce the first of our guest speakers. Thank you.